Erin Hazelwood. My husband, Korey, is currently fighting, I guess is the right word, stage 4 neuroendocrine bronchial lung cancer. We've been together since 1993. We have 3 kids, 11-year-old boy and 6-year-old boy-girl twins. It was December 31st, 2015, and they had suspected he had cancer then, and he went in for a bronchoscopy, and I was sitting in the recovery room with him, and the doctor that did the bronchoscopy came over, and she said, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure this is cancer, and obviously hits you like a ton of bricks. And I immediately started asking the questions, the how long and what kind and what stage, and she said, unfortunately we don't know. We think it's a rare type of cancer, but it is a cancer of some kind. She said, if my intuition is right and it is a carcinoid, she said it's a year to 10 years at best. So I came home that night, and we had friends from out of town here for New Year's, and we canceled our New Year's party we were supposed to have, and I literally, that night, started researching anything that had to do with the word carcinoid, which is tricky because it takes you down a pretty dark rabbit hole, and it wasn't even a confirmed diagnosis yet. So, but I just, knowing me and my type of personality, I needed to be prepared, and I needed to, I guess, get an understanding of where we were headed with Korey. And it wasn't until late 2018 when Korey's cancer had metastasized to his hip and switched from a low grade to a very aggressive high grade neuroendocrine cancer. And I knew, just based on, my experience and research, all of that prior, that a high grade was not going to end well. And so I just, honestly, one late night when I couldn't sleep, I just started Googling everything that I could. And I actually stumbled across you guys through a Google search. And from then it just kind of snowballed, and I started posting it on all these Canadian groups, and not a lot of people had heard about it. And I had one lady who said I had heard of a friend kind of a thing. And I kind of woke Korey up the next morning, and I said, look, I think at this point we don't really have a lot of options, so we need to contact them and just see what it's about. And it got, I think the ball got started pretty quick. And Korey was in the middle, had just come out of surgery to have a partial hip replacement to remove the tumor out of the bone. And Alex was amazing and super supportive, and it's been fantastic since we've been involved. That very first conversation that we had with Alex, he was very realistic and didn't sugarcoat anything. He did say to Korey, you've got a pretty rare cancer, and he even said, there's not a lot of research into neuroendocrines. And he kind of talked about the treatment he had been on previously, and how he kind of justified, I guess, in a sense, why our oncologist had chose some of those routes that she decided to do for Korey over the previous 3 years. And then, he really informed us about immunotherapy, and I had just started hearing about this literally weeks before our conversation with Alex. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting, because that's been kind of used in the States a bit more for the neuroendocrine, the high aggressive stuff. So I got a little bit excited when he kind of mentioned something that I'd been kind of looking into, and our doctor was like, no, we don't do that here. And honestly, after we talked with Alex, it was literally days, and we had blood work set up for Korey. Korey had flown out and had some stuff done in BC, and it was just how fast the ball got rolling was mind-boggling to me. Korey was also starting really aggressive chemo here, and Alex would check in to see how he had been feeling. And it just, I think just overall, just the experience and, the people, Korey's, I never made it out to BC with him, but he had nothing but really good things to say about the nurse that he'd worked with. And I know Alex had gotten us in contact with an oncologist there to kind of go through his whole history and, make sure that we were kind of all on the same page in treatment planning. And it was just nice to know that they kind of had, they were on the same game plan as we were, and they were amazing. Like, you guys have been amazing about making sure our oncologist here in Calgary is up to speed on all of the test results. Alex has been really good about forwarding on, studies on immunotherapy with neuroendocrines to our doctor. Because at first she was like, I'm not doing immunotherapy, that's not an option. But then after I think her chatting to and kind of getting some more background on that, after speaking to Alex, she was like, okay, let's do this. Which was pretty amazing because, like I said at the beginning, we struggled with her when we wanted to get second, third, fourth opinions. She didn't like that. But then all of a sudden, she's been so open to receiving all of this information. So it's been a huge, huge help for us. One less hurdle, I guess, for us to have to kind of jump over trying to get Korey this treatment. I guess the biggest thing is until someone, whoever that is, whether it's your oncologist or your doctor, whatever, tells you there's nothing left to do, oh boy, you can't give up. And I know some days it's really hard to not think about that end stage stuff, but until you're actually, oh boy, I think the biggest, like I would tell anybody who's newly diagnosed, is you literally have to live each day as best as you can, because you don't know what's out there in terms of treatment. And whenever you hear that word cancer, it's always so scary and it's breathtaking, and especially if you're diagnosed at stage 4. But I just think with the advancements, even since Korey's been diagnosed, the advancements in treatment options have been mind-boggling. Mainly, obviously, because we've been involved with you guys too, but I think just overall, people it's scary, but you just got to keep living, I guess, each day. And until they finally, until someone says, unfortunately, there's nothing left we can do, you can't give up hope. Our one friend, who unfortunately passed away, and we often say, like, I wonder if she'd still be here had she gotten involved. And like I said, my best friend is involved with you guys now, and yeah, I would recommend it. And anyone who's newly diagnosed in any of these support groups I'm in, I've always copied and pasted your Facebook page and said, even it's just worth even having a chat with Alex about it. Yeah, I would hands down recommend. And you can't turn back time. I wish we had known at time of diagnosis for us. I think it would have saved both of us a lot of stress and all of that the last almost 5 years had we been involved at the very beginning.